If you can only have one rifle, this might be it. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to give you a review of this Daniel Defense DDM4 V7 Pro. Now we're going to do it the old-fashioned way, which is we're going to go from tip to butt. So with no further ado, let's do this. Now at the tip, we have a Daniel Defense brake. Now for what I experienced from this brake is that it's very smooth. It reduced muzzle climb as they claim, as with most brake, and it's pretty pleasant to shoot, especially with this 18-inch rifle length gas system. It's very smooth, and the sound is not too bad. It's actually better than my 16-inch Daniel Defense rifle. Of course, it's better than a short barrel rifle. So the muzzle brake is quite nice. But for those of you who suppress like I do, chances are we're going to have to replace this with something that is compatible with our suppressor. So it's also threaded in 1/2 by 28. Below that is an 18-inch barrel. It's a rifle length gas barrel. 1 in 7 twist rate, and it's made out of vanadium steel, chrome line, and all this good stuff. It's also coated in phosphate. Why 18-inch barrel? Because this rifle is geared towards competition shooter, but I think for this rifle length barrel, you can use it for almost anything, even home defense. Sure, it's a little bit long, but you can do it with 18-inch with a little bit of training. And as far as competition shooter, it's perfect. It's not too long, it's not too short, it's not too heavy, believe it or not. For hunting as well, yes, this gun is good to go for hunting. Right after that, we have a gas block. I believe this is hardened steel gas block. It's very low profile gas block. You can hardly tell the profile. And of course, we have a gas tube, which I'm not too sure if it's what it's coated in. Does it look like stainless steel, some sort? I could be wrong. And surrounded by that is a 15-inch handguard made of 6061 aluminum, I believe. And on this handguard, you have QD point for days on the left side and as well as on the right side, 2 on each side. Actually, it's 6 point of QD attachment. So yeah, you have that for days. So you see here. Okay, now we're going to go to the upper receiver. Now this is made of 7075 aluminum. And is there anything special about this upper receiver? Well, let me. Now, this to be honest, there's not a lot of thing going on with this receiver other than you have a Daniel Defense dust cover, which is polymer plastic. I don't know why they have polymer plastic, but okay, I guess. I mean, it doesn't really bothers me, but I would prefer aluminum. They say it's like for reduce weight and stuff like that, but it does cover hardly weights anything. And inside that dust cover, inside this upper receiver, we have a Daniel Defense charging handle, well, which I think is a little bit better than BCM Gunfighter charging handle, which is on my other Daniel Defense rifle. Because I like this large latch, and it does the job pretty well. It's a charging handle. I mean, what more can you expect, But chances are down the road I want to replace this with something Radiant Raptor SDSL version, which is supposed to be better for suppress. But anyway, if you're not shooting suppress, you don't have to worry about that. And inside you have a Daniel Defense bolt carrier. So Daniel Defense pretty much made majority, like 90% of the parts on this rifle. Some part I'm not really sure, like the like this bolts, nuts, and the spring and stuff like that. So on this side, you have a label, Daniel Defense M4 V7 Pro, and for those of you who don't know what rifle you're buying, they also label 5.56. Now, this upper receiver, I would prefer them to not have this text so bold and just so visible. If you can have one gun for SHTF, chances are you don't want something like this to pops out. I probably might put like a duct tape on it so it's less visible. So that's just one of a small complaint I have on the upper receiver, and the marking on this upper receiver is a broken A. It's from a manufacturer. I'm not sure what's a broken A. Who manufactured that? Is it Daniel Defense? I'm not too sure, but Daniel Defense do make the complete rifle at the factories. As far as smart parts go, I'm not too sure about that. So let's go down. From that is a low receiver, made of 7075 aluminum. Same thing as a upper receiver. Now, do they give anything particularly interesting about this low receiver? There's not much or anything interesting about this low receiver, to be honest. It's pretty much a mil spec. They have a flare mag well. This is a pro version, so what does that mean? It means that they include a Gazelle three-stage, not three-stage trigger, it's a three-gun trigger. It's a single-stage trigger, super smooth, and it's like there's no creep at all. Just a little bit travel, and then it just breaks right away. It's just crazy good. I mean, this is my first time trying Gazelle trigger, and I have to tell you, it might not be my last time trying a Gazelle trigger or buying one. So the trigger they include in this pro version is very good. It's one of the best. One thing that I don't particularly like on this low receiver is the safety selector switch. Now on the left side, safety selector switch, it's a very long switch, but on the right side, it's also the long switch, which I don't like. It might interfere with your trigger finger. Some people might not care about that, but you know, it's noticeably, when you go to a range, when you put your hand on the trigger, you can feel that selector, and that's not something that I want on my rifle. So I will be putting something in place of that safety selector, something shorter on the right side because I'm a right-handed shooter. So yeah, I need to lower that safety selector a little bit, shorten it a little bit. Now you have a mag release, just a standard mil-spec mag release, nothing special. So yeah, probably gonna have to upgrade this to a ambidextrous mag release sometime soon, and also a mil-spec bolt cache and bolt release. Nothing special about that again. And at the end of that low receiver, you're going to get a QD point made by Daniel Defense. I think it's a pretty decent QD, but usually I like to put my QD at the buttstock and forehand handguard. So it's just something extra, for peace of mind. And let's go down to the grip. Now, the grip is sort of like a hit or miss for some people. For me, it's kind of like in between. I don't hate it and I don't love it at all because its grip, the top half of it, the top third of it is kind of skinny. If you have like a large hand or something, this you might not like this grip. It's just everybody have their own preference when it comes to grips, and this is not my preferred grip. Most of the time, I use Magpul MOE or K2 Plus, and it's more comfortable because it's more beefier for man. Now I have a medium hand, so those of you who have a large hand, and this grip might be a problem for you guys. It's not a problem for me, but I prefer something a little bit more beefier and more grippier. However, on this grip, they have a rubber shroud and also a finger groove. It's well, like I said, it's a personal preference. Personally, I don't mind the finger groove or the rubber on the back. I mean, it's very comfortable, but it's the top 1/3 is very skinny, and you don't get that positive. You don't get that positive grip on the gun, to be honest. Uh, that can easily be changed to a third-party uh, grip. Just take it out and change it with whatever grip you want. But this is one of those rifle that you have to get your hands on in order to know how it feels like. Because, like I said, everybody have their own preference when it comes to grip. And let's go back to the buttstock and buffer tube. Now, on this buffer tube, they have a H mark buffer. I'm not sure who made it. I'm not sure if Daniel Defense made the buffer, as well as the buffer spring. I think pretty much a mil-spec buffer spring, but they do include a H buffer. And the castle and the nut on this buffer tube is stake. However, I only see 1 point of staking, just one dimple on the top. So it's not very aggressive, which I like. If you haven't seen my other video on the my BCM rifle, which I have a hard time just removing that stake because they stick the nut in 3 different points. So Daniel Defense, at least on this rifle, I only see 1 point of staking, so that's good. It's easier to break 1 point than a 3 point. But some competition shooter, they might like it better if it's stick in 3 point. However, chances are you might want to change out some parts. If you're a competition shooter, you want to customize the gun to you, and this is come pre-installed with everything except its optic, of course, because yeah, optics is so separately like most firearm these days. Now this is 6 hour Tango 6T optics, very nice, very crisp. I mean, the clarity is amazing. I prefer this over the ACOG any day of the week. Now let's get back to topic. Let's go back to the buffer tube and the butt stock. Now they made this butt stock Daniel Defense as well as grip. I believe they do sell this at a retail store. So if you like any of this, you can just buy them and pop them on. Now this butt stock again is a love and hate relation. Something like this. Again, if you want to buy a Daniel Defense, I recommend that you go to the store and just get the feel of it, because it's like I said, it's a kind of love and hate thing in term of furniture. Now this bus stock, they have a rubber molding on both sides. So if you're like a caveman or something, and the rubber is rubbing on your beard. This buttstock also have a QD point on both sides, and they also came with two pads. I believe the thin pads and the slightly thicker pad. I believe this is a default pad. Uh, yeah, so yeah, that's it for this buttstock. Now, what else would I like to add? Here is some accuracy test and what this barrel is capable of. However, just know that I'm not a bench warrior. Also, when I took this shot, these are 100-yard shot. Once in a while, there's a gust of wind going through the range, so it could affect the test. Also, I'm using a 6x scope at 100 yard. I can barely see like the impact of the target, but this is what I have to work with. So if you have a better zoom scope, decent quality zoom scope, you can get a better group than this. Or you're an internet warrior who claim that you can get half an MOA with a red dot with no zoom. So long story short, the Sierra 55 grain Perry Enemy, I think this is the tightest group here at a 1.3 inch. But again, like I said, if you have a decent zoom scope, you can easily get that to 1 MOA or even less than that. We have some Hornady ELD mesh 73 grain at 3-inch group. Yes, I do have flyer there again. Like I said, I mean, if you have a decent zoom scope and it's not windy outside, you can get an MOA easy, but still, we have some silver tip. Strangely, I thought these were decent, and then I shot it. It's a 2.63 inch group. Kind of expensive ammo right there, as with most of this ammo anyway. Here's some steel case, full steel, hollow point, Monarch 55 grain at 4-inch group. It's horrible. I think it's more than 4-inch group, because I think I shot one like off on the side of the paper. So yeah, the steel case is not very reliable. But if you take away that flyer, it might be doable. As long as you hit the target, that's what counts. And yeah, the silver tip, also the silver tip. I'm not sure if this silver tip. I'm really not sure. This might be another Monarch or something else, because I like to shoot four shot group instead of 5, because of how expensive the ammo are these days. So the Hornady Critical Defense 55 FTX. Now 1.39 inch group. Well, it could be better. And the Tula ammo, like this is the crappiest of ammo, in my opinion. I'm getting a 6-inch group, full steel, hollow point, 55 grain. The PMCX tack right here, 1.88 inch group. Kind of strange, like 2 up top, 2 bottom. Maybe it's just me, but I don't know. Here's a Wolf full metal jacket. Had a 4.8 inch group. That's why steel case not very inconsistent to any kind of barrel. I wouldn't recommend you use steel case for self defense or hunting. But if that's all you got, then it's just gonna have to work. Here's a Wolf 55 grain full metal jacket, 3.2 inch. Again, it's like the steel case kind of shows like it's very inconsistent throughout the test, throughout all the tests that I've done. The Red Army steel case, surprisingly, it's the better of the bunch. The Red Army standard 55 grain FMJ. So a 2.6 inch group. I have a PPU Matchline 69 grain hollow point BT at a 2.6 inch group. And last but not least, here's a Horny Whitetail 60 grain interlock 1.87 inch. Again, if you take that little flyer out there, it could be a very good group. So that is how, just to give you an idea of what type of ammo this gun like, the Sierra Perry Enemy, and maybe, just maybe, the Hornady Whitetail, surprisingly. 223 Whitetail 60 grain interlock. Yeah, as far as steel case go, the Red Army Standard seemed to like this Pro 18-inch barrel. And let's compare that to my Daniel Defense lightweight 16-inch barrel. Anything stood out? Now here's a Sierra on the lightweight version, 16-inch barrel. Kind of very consistent throughout the testing. So I do recommend Sierra 223 55 grain Perry Enemy. However, your area, they might not have this. Here's a Hornady ELD match. That's a little bit tighter group than the Pro. Here's a 64 grain silver tip, and it seemed to be better than the Pro version, which have a flyer right there. I don't know. I think that might be just me, but it seemed like the lightweight version is a little bit better. Monarch steel, big group as always. Steel ammo is not very consistent with the powder. Here's some Hornady Critical Defense 55 grain FTX Tula ammo. I don't know why I don't have 3 shot here. Where's the other shot? I have no idea. It might be off the paper. So you're looking at, I don't know, 4-inch group. Horny Whitetail interlock. This group doesn't do as well as the Pro version, which you will see right here. Doesn't do as well. Now the PPU mesh line, it seems to do better than the Pro version. Right there, that's the Pro version, and this is a lightweight version. The Wolf Steel. Now this seems to do way better, not way better, just a little bit better than the Pro version. Again, smaller. Here's the Pro version. So that's FMJ 55 grain Wolf. The Red Army Standard does a horrible grouping compared to the Pro version. Horrible grouping. It's like all over the place. But you know, it's all on target. It's all on target. So yeah, that's compare a little bit comparison with the 16-inch lightweight barrel. I mean, it's like trading blow, you know. Different barrel like different ammo. So as some ammo might be compatible with my rifle, it might not be best for your rifle, even though it's the same brand. So if you have the same Daniel Defense Pro version barrel, it might like different ammo than I do. So that's just the nature of the rifle and AR-15 overall. So how does all that compare to like a custom-made build? Now, you can get a better barrel than Daniel Defense, I believe. Some like the Faxon 223 Wild 18-inch barrel. Now I do test this, but my test was cut short because the wolf ammo case jam up in my gun, and I couldn't take it out at the range. So yeah, the most consistent group I got again is the Sierra Perry Enemy small group. So it seemed like the Sierra is the winner here among all this barrel that I have. Now we have some Mash Gray. You know, the Horny Mash Gray ELDs is like does a horrible job. I think that's pretty expensive ammo. It's like $26 a box. The Horny 223 VMAX 55 grain. Kind of horrible job too. Surprisingly, the Monarch, look at that. The Monarch have a tighter group than the more expensive ammo. Now this is out of Faxon 223 Wild Barrel 18-inch. So surprisingly, the Monarch does better than the Match Gray Hornady stuff. However, the Hornady Critical Defense 55 grain does a pretty okay job. But you know, it's like the grouping is like so close to the Monarch. Look at that. So close to it. And the Winchester Super X Varmint 223 round does a worse job than the Monarch. Again, like depend on your barrel. It could have like a crazy outcome. Depend on the ammo you use. Here, Winchester or silver tip. I only have 3 shot on this, but it's not too bad. It's like right now it's like the tightest group. No, I think the Sierra is the tightest group here. And PMC X-Tac 62 grain does a worse job. And I want to test out the Wolf, but then one of the steel case jammed inside my barrel, so it cut short of the testing. I think here's another Wolf. No, this is not a Wolf. What is this? I'm not sure. I think this PMC X-Tac also. So I only have like 3 rounds left. And yeah, that's now here's the thing when buying a Daniel Defense rifle is that here's the thing with the Daniel Defense barrel is that it has a way better resale value than any custom-made AR build you have. Unless, of course, you know you have to strip it down and sell it at individual parts. Then the Daniel Defense rifle is always going to be better at retail than any of your custom-made AR or some other brand. So I think so far it's worth the money, but if you're willing to invest on a better optics, on a higher zoom magnification for a long shot. But as for me, you know, 100 yard, 200 yard, that's the max. Now, a quick thing I like to add is that the tolerance of the upper and lower is extremely tight. So if you decided to get a Daniel Defense lower or even upper, it might not compatible with your upper or lower, vice versa. So keep that in mind, because the one of the Daniel defense upper is not very compatible with one of my lower receiver from Franklin Armory. Again, like, who is this for? Now I already told you who that's for. It's really for anybody. You know, it's you don't you don't necessarily even need this in order to have it, but it's pretty pricey at around $2,000 MSRP on Daniel Defense website. Now I got mine for $1,700. Now after tax, shipping, and FFL fees and stuff like that, I'm around 1,900, a little bit less than that. But at the end of the day, well, is it worth it? I can't answer that for you because it's everybody's different. For me, it's definitely worth the money. I mean, the build quality is amazing on this rifle. However, during 2020 and 2021, I'm not sure about the build quality of pretty much any manufacturer these days, because they're way on the back order and stuff like that. And the QC quality is starting to come down because of the intense situation that we're in. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys on this Daniel Defense rifle. I don't want to get this video too long. If anybody asks you, are you armed? Tell them, no, you're armed AF. Don't forget to like, subscribe, stay tuned for more content. I'm gonna give you another review on a different Daniel Defense rifle, which I already filmed, and just waiting for a few things to come along. And I'm not sure when that video gonna be up, but anyway, stay tuned, subscribe, share the video, and signing out.